Okay, why don't we talk about why, like, how and why passions change over time?
Okay.
So,
So
like,
you agree that passions change over
I
time?
think they do.
Hmm.
So, I think there's two examples. We'll start with the first one. The first example is that a single passion of yours can change over time. So, the bike example is very easy, where age 0 to 10, I love biking. It's so much fun. I just want to bike everywhere. Age 10 to 20, it's like, oh, I'm getting older now. I have school. I have like responsibilities and other priorities now. I have a girlfriend. I can't bike all that often. But I really like bike maintenance. And then eventually you start fixing bikes. And you're like, oh, this could use a paint job. Age 20 to 30. Now you're into painting bikes. I think your overarching passion can remain there. But I think that
You get more specific.
because life will throw things at you. It's like I can't bike every day like I did when I was 10. Like I still enjoy maintaining
True.
and fixing and now painting. Like I think that it'll naturally change. And that biking, the love for biking itself will never go away necessarily, but it's just like
Finding other
let's
ways to love it.
other ways to love it, opening up new avenues for enjoyment in the realm of your passion.
An interesting topic on this. I think I've brought it up before, but my sister lives in Portugal, and she just like does these jobs that are just like so different from each other, but she dives so deep into these jobs where it's like 1 month she was working on a fishing boat, helping catch octopus to eat.
Octopus?
Yeah, like little squiddy
Yeah,
guys.
octopus, octopus. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
and then
Do you know how she did it? Like with a hook or like
with
a
a cage,
net?
like
Oh,
a cage.
damn.
Yeah,
What do you
and
put in
then
there?
what?
Sorry, I'm going way too hard.
I don't know anything about it really. All I know is that's what she did. What was the question?
I asked, what do you put in the cage to lure them in?
Other octopuses.
A fake, like a plushie, like a toy.
Little toy squeezy
Okay,
guy.
sorry, go on, go on.
And then the next month after that, she was a midwife and
What's a
like
midwife?
helps deliver babies. So it's like they're not even similar at all, like nowhere close. So she was
Yeah,
doing
you like hold the octopus plushie, and then the baby's
and
like,
the
"Oh,
baby
I
comes
want
out.
it into a cage on a boat."
So
You're soldering cages on the boat with your sister.
more cages,
I'm
more cages.
flossing.
We got more babies.
Come on, Mitch, come on, get that argument. Oh, I just smacked the mic.
All good.
Oh man, sorry.
What?
So she became a midwife.
Okay,
So she
so
went
she became
from
a midwife, and then she
octopus
started
hunter to midwife to baby
to
birther.
baby birther, and then she would photograph the baby birthers, and then would like offer them the mothers and families photos of their process of having a baby.
No way.
Yeah,
Did
and
they?
then
Well, I guess clearly they must have
yeah, she
wanted
did
it.
well, and she was like a passion. She like dove into it. She's like, this is how research bunch of shit, figured out how to catch an octopus, and the next month she figured out how to birth a baby, and now she's on a food truck working and selling falafel and making falafel. So just like weird, not weird, but they're just like different. And she
Totally
would like
different.
dive in, she like learned so many skills at this one place. Maybe she liked some of these skills, maybe she didn't. Okay, that's cool. I know that now. I'm going to midwife and then maybe learn some things there. And then I'm going to falafel. And now she might go back and be like, I like the cages.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll catch some crabs now. Maybe I'll build cages and solder cages,
Mm.
But you never know like where this goes. She's expanding her world of options.
I guess in a related sense, because you could say that these are kind of she's passionate about these things, or they've become her passions, but they're also career things. I think there were stories, I don't remember who said it, but they're like, I know this guy who is a firefighter for 2 years, then he became a house painter, and then he became a food truck, whatever, and he's the happiest guy ever.
For
But
sure.
but from the outside, you're like, oh, this guy can't like decide and just settle down. He must have a hectic life. Maybe it's hectic, but maybe that's where he finds his happiness, whether it's in trying a bunch of things or he's on a path and enjoying what is the one thing that I want to do for a
And like
long, long time.
learning about all these different things at their own pace. And it's not like, say I'm painting houses and then I'm like, I've done it 1,000 times now. I've been doing it for 10 years.
Mhm.
Like who's to say that might not be like more mundane and not as complex as learning as you go kind of thing, Where like my sister's learning all these fishing things so fast and then she's like all this knowledge. And then she like might be like, okay, I can catch an octopus every time now. You're like, I'm in the water, cage, up, baby, out, like
Falafel made.
And then maybe she just like was a passion. She loved it. She expanded it, explored it, exhausted it, and now she's onto something new,
That's super dope. I think that's very admirable.
Falafels?
Falafels, baby birthing, octopus hunting, because in a world that's constantly trying to change,
And
but
bring you
also kind
down.
of like conform you, it's hard to be yourself and to not fight against it, but it's like, I know that the world wants me to work a 9 to 5 job. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. Screw the judgment of others. For example, I worry about disappointing my parents, as I'm sure a lot of people could relate to. And also, my self-image, like how do people see me? There's things, and granted, they're not that big, but they're big enough where it's like, okay, I have to address this in some way. And I'm not saying that your sister has a bad image or is disappointing your parents or anything, but like you could argue that a lot of parents are like, just get the safe job, just be happy, just be safe,
Oh,
like
she's definitely been
don't
through
hustle.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, it's very admirable to
Step out.
step out and to just be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Family, love me or not, like this is me. I have to do this for me. If you love me, like let me do it. If you don't, like I don't know where I was going with that, but it's very admirable.
If you love me, let me go.
If you love me, let me go. Is that a song?
Definitely, but
It
I
must
don't think
be.
it's that song.
Sounds like Brendan Urie. What's that? Panic at the Disco?
Okay.
Sounds like his voice. If you love me, whatever. Anyways,
Beep borp.
beep
Reset.
warp, bing bong.
Bing bong please.
Another way that passions change over time is like just attaining new passions. So like fitness was my passion for however many years. Then came along cheer. Then came along podcasting. And then what happens to fitness? Does that take a back seat? Do you do less of it? Like how does that change? I think over time though, just being exposed to new ideas and new people and new experiences, you just kind of tack on bits of passions from here and there.
I think like being able to understand that this might not be the passion anymore opens up the door to where you're meant to be, you know, for that time.
Yeah, kind of like this phase of your life was meant to be for music, and the next phase is meant to be for cooking. And yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to look. Don't be afraid to look.
But also, don't look because when you're looking, you're not gonna find it.
I meant like don't be
I
afraid
know.
to
I'm
look
kidding. I'm
within
kidding.
yourself, you know, like further.
I'm kidding.